Yeah. Hello, everybody. I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar, Europe's Heartbeat, NRW as your gateway to the German market and startup scene. The first of 9 webinars in the pre-program of our Startup Germany tour. Today, you can expect exciting insights into our economy, our startup ecosystem, and you will hear from a startup how to make it in Germany. My name is Dominik Stute. I'm responsible for the field of innovation, industry, and international markets at the Chamber of Industry and Commerce in Dortmund, and I'm one of the main organizers of the Startup Germany tour. Yeah, as I said before, this is the first webinar and also something like the official start of our tour, which is already in its 6th year now. In the last years, we welcomed 432 startups from 45 different countries to our tour. Several thousand participants from even more countries have taken part in our webinars. Of course, we would also be very happy if you participate in our other webinars in the upcoming weeks and months, learn more about the strengths of NRW and prepare for a possible market entry in Germany. The webinars will be about industry topics such as logistics, mobility, industrial solutions, and green tech. You will learn more about international accelerator programs here, as well about topics such as sales in Germany, pitching in Germany, and tax and legal. And we will put the link to the entire pre-program in the chat in a moment. The pre-program is one phase of our tour, but not the only one. If you are a startup and are interested in going deeper into the German market and getting to know our great companies in NRW, feel free to contact me or my colleague Nick Neidl. You might also be considered for our main program. Our entire tour is a joint project of various partners. The Chambers of Commerce and Industry in the rural area, Cologne and Düsseldorf, as well as our Chambers of Commerce abroad, and our umbrella organization DIHK are the initiators and organizers. And we have great partners on board who support us. My big thanks go to the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Innovation, Digitalization, and Energy of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, to NRW Global Business, and as well as to the NRW Bank, who are all our partners this year. Yeah, and with these partners, we continue now. I'll hand over to Dr. Katrin Bischoff. She is Policy Advisor for Innovation Markets at the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Innovation, Digitalization, and Energy of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. Have fun, all of you, and yeah, see you later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominik.
And, yeah, Nick, you can stop the yes, thanks.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear entrepreneurs from all around the world. First of all, a warm welcome from my side on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the state of North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany. My apologies for my voice. As you can hear, I'm unfortunately sick and may not possess an ideal voice today for an opening speech. But as Dominik and Christoph might remember, I got a cold last year during the Startup Germany tour as well. So I'm considering this a positive sign of continuity. Since it was a great tour last year, my cracking voice might also be indicating that this tour has to be even better. For us as Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is the second time we are participating in the Startup Germany tour as a partner. We were very pleased that we joined last year. And as a consequence, we nearly doubled our funding for this year's tour. The Startup Germany tour offers a great possibility for startups from all over the world to connect with key stakeholders from the German and international startup scene. It also provides startups with an ideal opportunity to explore the German market. In today's webinar, we will give you a peek into the state of North Rhine-Westphalia as the so-called heart of Europe with enormous market potential for startups. As Dominik just mentioned, together with our network of national and international chambers of commerce, as well as NRW Global Business and the NRW Bank, we are jointly organizing this year's Startup Germany tour. We would also briefly like to take the opportunity to thank all partners and contributors for this tour, especially Dominik and his team from the IHK Dortmund, but also you, dear entrepreneurs, who show an interest in participating. This format has been a successful series of events since 2017. Last year alone, 118 partners and 82 startups from 36 countries participated in our 2021 Startup Germany tour. We are proud that we have already confirmed participation of 40 countries worldwide that will be pitching their startup ideas in the following weeks. We look forward to inviting the top 15 startups of this year's tour to Germany in October to show you our entrepreneurial ecosystem and to connect you physically with startups, corporates, investors, and other key stakeholders from our local entrepreneurial ecosystem. We will allocate prize money worth of 15,000 euro in total to the top 3 startups of this tour. Additionally, we are currently in the process of launching a new startup welcome package. We will offer selected startups that are choosing our state as location for their business activities, vouchers for co-working and sparing services for up to 10,000 euros. This shall facilitate startups to kick off their business operations here in Germany. Next to financial incentives, we also provide tailored support to startups. Here in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany, we have a strong entrepreneurial ecosystem with numerous stakeholders who coach emerging startups as our 5 Digi Hubs or our 75 Starter Center NRW that are partially located at the Chambers of Commerce. Throughout the 2022 Startup Germany tour, we want to show you the beauty and diversity of our state. We want to give you the possibility to pitch your ideas, to connect, and to grow your businesses on an international scale. They are ideal expansion opportunities for high-quality products and cutting-edge technology for environmentally friendly and resource-conserving production in Germany. And we will do our very best to support all of you in making use of these growth opportunities. Thank you very much. Enjoy the tour, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, big thanks to you, Katrin, and to the ministry for being our partner. Yeah, and we go on with our next partner, and not only with words of welcome, but also with a brief presentation of North Rhine-Westphalia. And I'll hand over now to Astrid Becker. She is General Manager Asia and Australia at NRW Global Business. And before I forget it, feel free to type your questions in the chat or in the Q&A section. We have a Q&A session after at the last point of our event, but if you have any question in between, just put it in the chat and we try to answer it. And now, Astrid, it's your turn. Thanks.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction indeed. Hello, everybody. I'm delighted to present to you the business location in the center of Europe, North Rhine-Westphalia. We believe that North Rhine-Westphalia is outstanding for starting business and continuing with it in Europe. And maybe after my presentation, you will be able to tell us whether this is so in your view as well. But first of all, let me introduce our company, NRW Global Business, and who we are. NRW Global Business is the official trade and investment agency of the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia. We have 2 major tasks. We promote NRW as business location in foreign countries and support foreign companies in their investment projects and business setup in North Rhine-Westphalia. We also inform companies from North Rhine-Westphalia about foreign markets and support them in their efforts toward foreign markets. The resulting synergies should also add to our abilities to support business tie-ups. We have a strong tradition and performance record in assisting and consulting foreign companies in their settlement plans in our state. Our special strength lies in the networking abilities between business, science, and public administration. In the next chart, you see our services cover overall the activities that are shown here. In order to promote the best support possible, we are embedded in a dense and functional network of organizations that are supportive for us and our clients. And these include public administration, science institutions and networks, industry clusters and associations, as well as business networks and business institutions. Next, please. We have several representative offices abroad, as you can see here in the map. Our activities are strong in the United States, where we are represented by 3 representative offices. One is located in the Silicon Valley, which of course give us the ability to be at the pulse of the innovation and startup scene in the west coast of the United States. We are also very strong in Asia. We have 5 representative offices in China, 1 in Japan, in Tokyo, which is actually our oldest subsidiary, 1 in Korea, which is equally old. Last year in November, we opened our office in Bangalore to be able to build a stronger bridge between India and North Rhine-Westphalia. But we also have an office in Turkey, as many entrepreneurs from Turkey are interested in investment in our state and also in strengthening their business ties. In addition, we have an office in Poland and in Israel, in Tel Aviv, in order to strengthen also the contacts to the startup scene and innovation scene over there. And as the Great Britain decided to exit from the EU, we have also established a separate representation there so that we can also keep our strong contacts into Great Britain. Next, please. Well, we think North Rhine-Westphalen is strong, dynamic and central in Europe. And you can see here also the reasons for that. North Rhine-Westphalia, or short NRW, is the biggest economic region or state in Germany. The basis of this strength are several outstanding favorable characteristics in comparison to other locations in Germany or Europe. On this map of Europe, it shows Europe by night, and the illumination gives you an idea of where the economic and industrial centers are located. You can see our state is marked by the illumination bordering on the Netherlands and Belgium in the center. The red dot is the state capital, Düsseldorf. You will see 2 circles on this map, 2 white circles. The inner circle on the map of about 500 kilometers around our capital city, Düsseldorf, covers 160 million potential customers and 3.6 trillion euros of purchasing power. This is more than the same circle area around London, Paris, or Berlin. At the same time, 500 kilometers are the distance that a truck can travel within one day. Based on this favorable location, North Rhine-Westphalia is predestined as a main crossing point for trans-European transport and logistics. The dense road and railway network is supplemented by 2 international airports, Düsseldorf and Köln-Bonn. Both offer European and intercontinental flights. Düsseldorf is the bigger hub as passenger airport, while Köln-Bonn, in fact, ranks 3rd among Germany's air cargo centers. An important feature of the logistics landscape is furthermore the extensive network of waterways. NRW is well connected to overseas markets via the big seaport of Rotterdam and the Rhine River, even without an own coastline. With about 18 million inhabitants, our state is the most populous and most densely populated of the 16 federal states of Germany. The GDP amounts to 1/5 of the German GDP, putting North Rhine-Westphalia clearly ahead at the top of all German federal states. As a country on its own, NRW would hold 18th position in a GDP world ranking and rank number 7 within the EU. NRW is also the strongest industrial region in Germany. Industrial enterprises based in North Rhine-Westphalia generated sales of 352 billion euros in 2019. The overall GDP of North Rhine-Westphalia was 711 billion euros. North Rhine-Westphalia is international, open-minded, Asia-oriented, and more than 20,000 foreign corporates have subsidiaries in NRW and provide work for about 1 million persons. This again are the highest figures in Germany. Next, please. This map shows you the main cities of North Rhine-Westphalia, Düsseldorf as the capital city, Cologne as the biggest city with over 1 million inhabitants. But on the western border you see also the city of Aachen, which is extremely well known for its technical university, RWTH Aachen, of world renown, and also the cities of Essen and Dortmund, who are part of the famous Ruhr area, and furthermore to the north and the east, also the cities of Münster, which has a highly renowned university, is home to great entrepreneurship, and it has also a very long historic value. And in addition, we have the cities of Bielefeld and Paderborn. They are the biggest cities of our region of East Westphalia, who are the home of many German hidden champions, to which we will come later as well. Next, please. So this chart shows you, first of all, that we have a very strong industry in North Rhine-Westphalia. All in all, we have more than 700,000 companies, of which the majorities are small and medium-sized companies. 29 of all hidden German hidden champions are amongst those. They number up to 699,000 of the complete German number of hidden champions. North Rhine-Westphalia truly is the industrial heartland of Germany. Next, please. With the Ruhr metropolis at its core, North Rhine-Westphalia is the strongest industrial regions, and we have, of course, some sectors that are outstanding. Our most important sector is the mechanical engineering sector, followed by the chemicals industry, then by metal production and processing, and electric engineering. But also the automotive industry is very strong. It is a very strong supplier industry, as we do not have many OEMs located here, but all of our automotive suppliers cover the main automobile manufacturers all around the world. Next, please. So you can see here that more than 800 companies, or with over 200,000 employees, are active in the automotive industry. The automotive industry, as you know, is one of the most innovative industry worldwide, who have to deal now with major challenges leading from new drivetrains, electric drives, or hydrogen-powered drives, up to new materials for lightweight and so on. And for this reason, our companies, enterprises there are also highly innovative, and they are also very much interested in new technologies and cooperation with startups who can deliver the right solutions for them. we can say that in any fifth cars in the world, parts of NRW are implemented. Yes, we are also home to 19 of the 50 top selling companies in Germany. Next, please. And we have our trading volume mounts up to 398 billion euros. And on this map, on this chart, you can also see our biggest partners. Our biggest partner is our neighbor, Netherlands. This is, of course, also due to the fact that many overseas programs come into Germany via the Netherlands. Then followed by China, then France, and all in all, you can see that our main trading partners are located within the EU and very few outside the EU. And of course, we also want to change that. That is why the government started a new export promotion program for our companies. Next, please. Yes, NRW is the gateway to Europe with Europe's densest transport infrastructure. We have 226 kilometers of the Rhine River, the main aqua line of Europe, running through NRW, and it is one of the busiest waterways in Europe. So even bulk cargo is really not a problem. You can reach the whole of Europe from NRW via that waterway. 25% of all logistics centers in Germany are located in our state. And with a maximum of 3 hours flight, you can reach all major cities in Europe, which is especially important for business people who want to cater for Europe and Africa or Eastern Europe. That is one of the most important reasons why they have settled down here. Please, next. This chart shows you again what I said before about the airport of Düsseldorf and of Cologne. And the following chart shows you the map of the rail connections, especially North Rhine-Westphalia is a very important linking point of the European-wide high-speed transport network. So we cover the main east-west and north-south axis. Yeah. Furthermore, of course, as I mentioned before, we have very important ports, which are also very important for cargo handling, and they all offer tri-modal solutions to bring cargo from the sea to the road and the rail network to deliver it further down to other parts of Europe. Next, please. North Rhine-Westphalia indeed is a highly future-oriented digital locations. We have 25,000 ICT companies. 31% of all ICT sales is generated in North Rhine-Westphalia, and 20% of all startups are located here already. This all has happened for very good reasons. First of all, North Rhine-Westphalian government puts a lot of impact in promoting innovation, startups, and digitalization, but also our companies are very active in this area and eager to keep up with the top of the world. And we have, of course, next please, developed a very dense system of startups activities. You see the startup hubs spread out all over this map here. You see that this map is a little bit old. It shows that we have 90% of all German startups in North Rhine-Westphalia. This was 2019. Nowadays, we have passed already the 20%. And of course, we want to pass also that figure again. Startups NRW is a very important database for you and others to look up which kind of startups have formed in NRW, how to approach them and what their activities are. Next, please. Yeah, this chart shows you the dynamic landscape of regional innovation platforms, tech clusters and companies in which the startup landscape is embedded. On the right-hand side, you see our digital hubs also spread out over North Rhine-Westphalia, so that there is a very good connection to all the industrial clusters and scientific clusters that help startups on their way. North Rhine-Westphalia is also boasting itself as a smart city frontrunner. 7 of the top 20 smart cities in Germany are located in our state, especially the city of Dortmund has taken a lead and has been awarded the European Capital of Innovation Award 2021. And up to €1 million worth of funding program is available in this area. Well, North Rhine-Westphalia is, as I mentioned before, also a world-class location for smart mobility. 12 headquarters of the automotive industry you can find within a radius of 500 kilometers around our capital city, Düsseldorf. 800 automotive companies employ 200,000 people, and 7 million euro funding are available for the battery research fab in Münster. And well, I think we can then slip the other charts. Just one more to say that we have 68 universities with 60 technology centers, and 27% of all students attend universities and technical universities of applied sciences. And therefore, I think we can say that we also have a very good pool of innovative talent for companies and startups. And then with that, I would like to finish my presentation. Thank you very much and invite you to have a closer look at North Rhine-Westphalia when they have the chance. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Becker. That was a great presentation. And yeah, not to lose time, let's go to the next speaker and let us dive a little bit deeper into our startup ecosystem here. And I'm very happy to welcome Madeleine Heutz. She is chairwoman of the board at NRW. That's our startup association here in North Rhine-Westphalia. Yeah, and she's also a startup by herself. She's founder of the legal tech startup Raketenstart, which means something like rocket start in English. Yeah, thank you, Madeleine, for being here with us, and we're happy to hear more from you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. Hi, yes, I'm Madeleine. Nice to meet you all. I will tell you something about NRW, and I will share my screen. So I have a short presentation for you. I hope everybody can see it. So now you can learn a little bit about NRW. We are the voice of the startups in North Rhine-Westphalia, which means that we collect all the startups and all the needs and all the know-how everybody needs here who wants to found a company in North Rhine-Westphalia. And we are the people who talk to the persons of the politics and try to help to strengthen the ecosystem here in North Rhine-Westphalia. So I will keep it really short because you already heard a lot about the things I had to say in the presentation before, but let's have a look at who NRW is. So we are the voice of 245 startups, which are members in our association, which split onto 10 regions we identified where startups go to start their business and found their companies. And those regions are spread all over North Rhine-Westphalia, and which is also one of the points which makes North Rhine-Westphalia so special, because each region is really different from each other, and each region is really special, especially in kinds of what kind of companies are founded. So Aachen, for example, is really well known for its technical university. So most of the startups that exist there also have a really technical background. There are a lot of startups in robotics. There are a lot of startups from engineering, and that makes it obviously a really good place to go. And which also shows how diverse North Rhine-Westphalia is, which is also one part of being so special, because you have really different people here. Then we have Düsseldorf and the Niederrhein. We have Ruhr, which also has a really strong history, and also brings a lot of startups. For example, from the trying to remember the word, which is also a really industrial background. We have a lot of startups with EdTech in Münster, and then we have Cologne and Bonn, which are also really striving to be really big startup hubs. The Bergisches Land, Südwestfalen and Ostwestfalen-Lippen. So as you can see, we have really different hubs, and all of the cities and all of the hubs are really trying to build strong ecosystems and support also for the startups here. We had a really big evolution in the last years, especially with the support of the state also, which invested a lot, especially, for example, in startup founding from universities and intern scholarships you could get as a founder if you were planning on testing your ideas. So we have really various possibilities here. So what is it what NRW does? Sorry. Our goal is to connect people who are excited about startups and becoming a founder, which obviously are not only the founders themselves, but also all the institutions trying to help startups to build their business. Which is also why it's a really important part for us to create partnerships, not only between institutions and startups, but especially also between corporates and companies, where as well startups as also the corporates can learn from each other and build new products and strategies together. Also, our goal is that we collect the needs of the startups to be able to transfer them in building solutions together with politics, together with the institutions and universities to support startups and the founders as good as we can. So what is it that we do for the startups ourselves? So what we especially do is we work really closely together with the politics and the ministries to also obviously create laws and a legal ecosystem that benefits startups and helps them to grow, and also takes a look at their needs and also maybe difficulties that we have. We connect startups also with a possibility of investment. For example, we connect them with venture capital funds, we can connect them with business angels. We host specific dinners, for example, for that, and events where you can meet investors, which obviously is also a really big part of being a founder, because financing always becomes a topic really soon. We prepare them with networks, so we connect them also with different partners we have, and try to support them as best as we can to find the people they need to grow their business. And also, obviously, we work really closely together with corporates. Some of them also offer projects where you can join as a startup to learn from them and get specific support. Because what makes North Rhine-Westphalia special, as already has been mentioned, is that there are really many corporates and medium-sized businesses who have been a really long history of being successful in business. And all of them are looking for chances to fulfill their digital transformation and work together with really creative new minds that have ideas to solve the problems of their companies. And that is what we see as a really big chance of collaboration, to help each other and also make it into the next chapter of digital transformation together. So this is also a really important part. So like I said, what makes NRW really special is the diverse ecosystem. We have really different founders here from all backgrounds. Some come from university, some come from all over the world. It's really diverse, which makes it a really nice place also to be, because you can get to know a lot of different people and different perspectives on things, which also is a really big chance for everybody, maybe also looking for co-founders, and also obviously for employees. There's a huge amount of possible collaborations with different ecosystem partners, and North Rhine-Westphalia is a really attractive location, which also is a really important part in hiring, because people obviously are looking, if they come with their families, for example, for places they can go to, where also the employees would like to join and were able to bring their families. And because we have so many different cities in such a small space here in North Rhine-Westphalia, this gives a lot of opportunities for also being attractive for employees from all over the world. So our managing board, I'm Madeline, I'm the chairwoman of the board of NRW, and those are my two colleagues. We started being in the managing board of NRW in March of this year, so we are quite new, but all of us are founders. I do legal tech, Nele does ed tech, and Maria does fintech. So we have a really strong tech background and are really closely working with the founders because we know the struggles and we know how hard it can be, and that it's the best way to ask for help and support each other. So this is what we are trying to do in the managing board also. So I'm really looking forward to meet some of you soon in North Rhine-Westphalia. So let me know if you're around, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, thanks for having me here, and I hope you could learn a lot about North Rhine-Westphalia. Yeah,
thank you very much for your presentation. And yeah, as I said, you can ask your questions in the chat. Feel free, and yeah, Madeleine and the others can answer later or now or what else. Okay, thanks. Then yeah, let's go to the next speaker. All of you know our famous German Mittelstand. And the region of South Westphalia is home to a very high number of such hidden champions of, yeah, a lot of members of the German Mittelstand. And now we will hear more about this from Marie Ting. She is from the Südwestfalen Agentur. And yeah, Marie, thank you for being here with us. And yeah, we're excited to hear your presentation, to see your presentation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here and to share my information about South Westphalia, which is one part of North Rhine-Westphalia. And I try to share the presentation in a second. Okay, I hope you can see that now. Otherwise, Dominic, please scream.
No, it's working.
Okay, perfect. So I brought you 10 things you need to know about South Westphalia, and 10 things that also will explain you, I guess, some things about the German Mittelstand. So let's see what's there. So where are we located? You can see Südwestfalen, that's the German word, is kind of in the middle of Germany in North Rhine-Westphalia. Dortmund and Cologne are around. And you can read the youngest region of Germany. Why is that written there? Because in 2007, the whole region just formed, because the 5 districts that you can see in the right side in the different colors, explained that they wanted to be one region, consisting of, or in 59 different little and mid-sized cities. So it's rather a rural region, and I will show you some more and also some more photos so you can picture the region a little bit. Who am I? Who's talking to you? I'll surely explain that to you as well. So I'm working in the South Westphalia agency. What is that? Well, when in 2007 the region said we want to be a region, we didn't work before together. The region also needed an agency, so they founded the South Westphalian Agency, and the shareholders are the 5 districts of South Westphalia, but also the 6th shareholder is the let's say the economy, so companies of South Westphalia who said, okay, we wanna also take place in that process of being and presenting one region. So this is where I'm working in the South Westphalia Agency. We are trying to develop the region and to position also the region of South Westphalia. So what is South Westphalia? In German, Südwestfalen, we say Südwestfalen, South Westphalia is strong, and I'll surely explain you why. But also South Westphalia is rural, and it's very beautiful. You will see that. And what we always also say is South Westphalia is very authentic. What that means is explained in the end. So the very specific fact about South Westphalia is, on the one side, it's so strong. It's the #1 industrial region in North Rhine-Westphalia and #3 in Germany. On the one side, so you can imagine that there's a lot of industrial, very successful companies. But on the other side, we are so green in that region. We have the largest nature park region, as you can read in the right side of the presentation. So this is what is really defining the region of South Westphalia. And yeah, the 10 things you need to know is, I think what is really important is that it's a networked region. That region works really well together. On the one side, we have a joint past. So historically, the region already worked together in the industrial field because the companies were working together. But also now in the present, that region is really focusing on its goals and is making projects to develop and to be a smart region as well. And yeah, we developed a common vision as well for the whole region, and the region stands behind that vision. So we want to set standards nationwide. And how do we do that? We are working in a very digital, sustainable, and authentic way in all our projects in the whole region. And yeah, what I already explained, the strength are that there is the combination of industry, nature, and a doer's mindset. This is very, very typical for South Westphalia. So the second thing you need to know is that it's a spacious region, but it's close to urban hubs. As you can see in the card, the red part is South Westphalia, and the rather bigger cities in North Rhine-Westphalia are around. Yeah, so third thing is that it's a heavyweight economy. So we are the third strongest industrial area of Germany, #1 in NRW, with 80 million businesses and 5 core industries. I will show you which those are. And why is that so? And I think that's very typical for the German Mittelstand as well. It's because of the history. So South Westphalia claims to be the oldest industrial region in Europe, because 2000 years ago, the whole region started mining and transporting and processing iron. So the keywords are mines, ironworks, wire drawing mills, cutlery, needle factories, so foundries, that there really is tradition there. And today still there are lots of metal production and working, but in highly specialized, innovative and international companies nowadays. And also it's not all about metal. Today we have a very, very strong and specialized electrical industry and plastics processing industry too. We have in South Westphalia, which is an interesting number, more than 150 global market leaders. So yeah, surely they're leading globally in their market segment. What does that mean? They belong to the top 3 of the top selling companies within their market. And 85% of the global market leaders in South Westphalia are medium-sized enterprises and or family-owned. So this is very typical too, that we have that mid-sized companies in family hand. We put them all together in a card. I will later give you the link too, so you can see who are those companies. It's not translated yet. It's in German, but still you can see all the logos, and surely you can always ask me if you are looking for specific companies to work with or to be in contact with. Yeah, some examples that I brought to you. Who are those market leaders? Well, if you've got doctor's appointment, business card, family pictures, pizza menu, all that is hanging on a notice board, and maybe, and perhaps also, yeah, I guess, that this is by the needles, push pins of the Gottschalk company here produced in that region. So it's, yeah, push pins, 7 million per day that are produced by that company. Another example is the shopping carts in the supermarket. Yeah, the world market leader is in that field, located also in Südwestfalen, called JD Gek in this town of Altona here in Germany. Yeah, 2 more I've got here. So a high performance foil rolling mill made by the Kreuztal based, yeah, Kreuztal is a city here, company Aachen Bach-Buschütten would be able to wrap the entire world in foil once around the equator in 15 days in 6 hours when running continuously. So you see there's a massive power also in that. And last one, for a quick bite or a drink, the company Dometic from Siegen equips around 5 million rooms of high-class hotels with its mini bars. So you can see that it's kind of diverse. And two more examples with some pictures as well. I chose Aquatherm. Aquatherm is the world's leading manufacturer of plastic piping systems made of polypropylene for plant construction and building services. So what is very typical too for the German Mittelstand and yeah, the Mittelstand in South-Westphalia is that the areas of application and the different branches are so wide. So in that case, they are producing the piping systems for drinking water applications, but also heating systems, fire protection, sprinkler systems, air conditioning, and so on, with more than 70,000 articles in 6 product lines. So that very broad approach to have different products in the companies is very typical for the companies. Aquatherm's got 600 employees in Germany, Italy, England, USA, and in Canada, but also typical, the production takes still place exclusively at the German sites, just for the honor also and the quality label of continuously being able to say this is made in Germany and there's the quality behind that. Yeah, last example, Trilux. Simplify your light is the claim, represents the most simple and reliable path to customize energy efficient and sustainable lighting solutions. This is what the company itself says. And I've brought you also some facts and figures just to say, yeah, this is very typical for a hidden champion in South-Westphalia as well. A company which is really specialized in light. But what is light? You can see here that they now think about how to use the light in the towns to also spread internet and to be a smart city and to connect the city also. I talked about the 5 core industries in the beginning, and now I'd like to tell you which are the 5 core industries on the meta level. And we've got automotive, metal and mechanical engineering, but we also, of course, got timber and forestry industries. I said that we've got a lot of forest here as we are a green region. Building technologies is huge here, and health industry also is a thing. So automotive industry, we surely can say that without South-Westphalia, your car would most likely not drive. Sounds ambitious, but it's just the truth. Also some figures here, you can see it's a big thing, 500 automotive suppliers in South-Westphalia. Metal and machine building industry, machine builders from South-Westphalia belong to the top 25 in Germany, and 1,000 companies in that field. Timber and forest industry, for example, we are producing as a region 8 million Christmas trees per year with 200 companies. And the building technologies, an example as well, more than 70% of all switches and lugs are from our region, 200 companies here. Switches and lugs, I don't know. Health industry, we are producing cathodes and cases for cardiac pacemakers with special clinics and hospitals as well, but more than 200 producers and suppliers as well here. So there's a very strong network in that industry. And I put together also some B2C brands, because you can see that as we've got the Mittelstand, the hidden champions here, there's a lot of B2B brands, which are not very well known, of course, as they are B2B and just in different products hidden. But here are some products that you maybe know. Well, there's the German beer. We have a very strong beer industry here, Krombacher, Veltins, Warsteiner. Perhaps you heard about that. If not, if you ever come to Germany, you should try. And yes, also taste South-Westphalia like that. we have some nuts. Yeah, you can see that, and socks, and the bin, which is very high quality and very well known in Germany, perhaps not internationally, but yeah, this is rather for my German presentations to show you may know some of the companies, and you may not know that those are coming from here because it's so well known in Germany, in total. Maybe you are interested in the question, where do we find specific networks and institutes and competence centers for the field that you are working in or that you are interested in? I've got the links here. I will also send them in the chat, so you can, after the presentation, look that up and zoom in it. It's in English also, and you can find all the institutes, the universities, the networks here to be able to see what's interesting for you and who's an interesting contact person for you too. Yeah, I've got that here in a bigger look. And I'm coming to the end because after having spoken so much about the economy in South Australia, I'd also surely round it up and talk to you about the high quality of life we've got here. In the beginning, I said, this is very special about South Australia, all the industrial strength. And on the other hand, that green region, if you will be here, if you ever drive through that region, and that also might be typical for more regions in NRW, you will feel like, oh my God, this is so green. This is just vacation. You can breathe. You have the lakes. You can, for miles and miles, you will see no one, just little houses somewhere or little villages. But still, all in between there are the hidden champions and that very strong economy. So we are very strong in tourism too, because people love to come here. We have the largest skiing area. Over 50% of the whole region is covered by forest. Yeah, most fertile farmland, cycling and hiking tours, nature parks. So this is the green side of South Australia. We have lakes in the Sauerland. Sauerland is a part of South Australia in the region. Forest, which is big, and Wiesent. Maybe you know that animal. It's a very special thing here in Germany because it's nowhere else. We settled it here. We have the winter sport arena in Winterberg. You maybe know this because there are also Olympic Games playing. And there's another aspect for South Australia, which is interesting, that of course, as the regions are rather rural, we have a very affordable housing too. So if people are having or are urged to need to take the decision where to live, there's always that argument, that point of, well, how much does it cost to live there? And yeah, you can see that here easily, as it is rural, it's way cheaper than to live in big cities, of course. Yeah, we have the universities, as you can see here, different universities. We have a very secure environment, so the crime statistics are very low in comparison to other ones. And we have also a very low unemployment rate. So companies here are rather looking for people to come here. As I said, they are innovative, they are growing. And the region is willing to welcome people to come here and work here, because everyone who is here is already employed, as the unemployment rate shows. Yeah. We have the greenest large city of Germany here in Siegen, open air theaters, and perhaps in the right side, you can read almost every third resident in South Australia is in a sports club. So this is very typical too. So that we have communities and sports clubs, and very strong communities as well, because yeah, this is, I think that's a topic for rural regions to have that strong communities and to not live very isolated, but rather in clubs and communities. Yeah, and last but not least, we always say a handshake counts in South Australia, and I think that's typical for the hidden champions in general and the German Mittelstand too, because we have those medium-sized businesses. There's a very special employer-employee relation very often, because the businesses are family-run and family-owned. So the whole atmosphere is very, atmospheric, positive. So it's nice to be around. And you also do not have the hire and fire that some bigger companies may use. Very flat hierarchies and the opportunity to grow in the company as well. And also a handshake counts to us means that people from here are true to their words, are in artificial, honest, authentic. So this is very typical for South Australia. That, yeah, if someone from here is talking to you, it just every word that is said is meant the way it's said. It's not shine and glow and behind there's nothing. It's rather authentic and yeah, yes, it's written there. So here you've got the 10 good reasons at a glance. And yeah, I hope that I was able to give you some information, some idea about South Westphalia and also about the hidden champions and the German Mittelstand in general. And thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, thank you, Marie, and thank you for the insights in this exciting location here. And I think a lot of the things you mentioned can always also be transferred to other regions in Germany, into the German Mittelstand. And yeah, and I also think that you mentioned a lot of companies, and if some of our participants want a connection to them, they can reach out to you and you can help them. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, now we already come to our last speaker. You can see him, and it's another highlight at the end. And yeah, I'm extremely pleased that we have with Krzysztof Medralla, the CEO from the Polish startup NetApp, a former participant of our Startup Germany tour, who is here with us today, and yeah, who has now, well, last month, successfully set up a location here in NRW in Düsseldorf. And so he will tell us how to make it in Germany. Thank you, Krzysztof, for being here with us.
Thank you very much, Nick, for your invitation. Thank you very much for all participants in Startup Germany tour who joining to this meeting. It's an honor and pleasure to meet you. I will give you a few comments related to our session, because we, as a NetApp, was the finalists of the previous edition. We basically concentrate on three main competencies. We are a software company. Basically, originally, we are operating and developing our software solution from Krakow in Poland. We concentrate on three main areas: artificial intelligence, big data analysis, and 3D imaging, and managing the diagnosis data. Based on these competencies, we develop currently two main products, Carnalife Hall and Carnalife System. During this time, from last year, when we joined the German startup tour, we decided to open our subsidiary in Düsseldorf. Based on the relation, the joining of this meeting, the examples, the environment, and support from local government, the colleagues, Nick, all of them support us, and we discussed during this time how useful can be our growth German, and when we can open our company. We decided to start from the Düsseldorf. That since March we are in the process of registration. NetApp Germany. That will be a company which will offering our software from Germany to DACH region in Switzerland and Austria. And that will be the basic for further development on Netherlands. We decided that will be good opportunity to take part in this tour and later develop the product, the business. During this time, we develop our business and introduce new functionality of our application. As I told you, we currently offer two main applications. One is dedicated for remote diagnosis and monitoring patient. It means that we collect the data from external devices. For these devices or patient applied to our application their data, medical data. This data is located in cloud, where our algorithms verify this data and prepare for a doctor and patient actionable reports with recommendation what they can do, how they can do. We prepare for them some pathway where the doctor and patient can manage the process, how to improve their health, how can manage the process. And the second application, CarnaLife Holo, this is the application which is taking the data, medical data from tomography, resonance, from the PACS in hospital and clinics. This is application which can improve the preparation to the treatment and services the doctor during the treatment in 5 main specialties: cardiology, oncology, radiology, orthopedics, and urology. And we are offering this product in hospital clinics to the patient. We have started in several competition during this time. We've got several distinction from Google. They choose us as one of the most dynamic perspective startup in this part of Europe, especially in medtech. Of course, we participate in Startup Germany tour. Of our cloud choose us as one of the best startup which using cloud in their infrastructure. We've got some additional other perspective. What is the most important for us? This is the contact with the doctors, with the patient during last 6 months. That's what I'm describing currently. We provide very important from our perspective new functionality for the doctors, and we realize very innovative treatments in Lviv. Before, of course, we realized some treatment in Bulgaria, in Austria, of course, in Poland. We've got some prize and we realized some new functionality and new treatment in UK. That's all of new treatment in our range of product, which allows us to offer our functionality, our application to new doctors. We consistently growing based on the revenue, EBITDA, and net profit. Since 2019, we are profitable as a company. We are growing almost 50, 80%. It depends on the time and the factors, but basically we growing very dynamically. We have very dynamic and very aggressive plan for expansion in new market, because currently we concentrate on Europe. We've got on April a new certificate and visa, which allows us to offer our medical application in Brazil. We are working on FDA certification. We want to apply next quarter for this certification. It will allow us to offer next year our software CarnaLife Holo in USA. We are thinking and looking for Mexico and Canada, and of course India and Australia. Outside the Europe, there are the most important, the most promising market for us. Of course, German and DACH region, that's one of the key market for us. That's the reason why we open and we want to develop our business from Düsseldorf to the rest of the market. I encourage you to participate as a recommendation for you as a participant in Startup Germany tour. I encourage you to participate in webinars and events, get information about markets, people, behavior, practices, product, competitors, because we know from our perspective that every market, and in some country like Germany, there are so many differences between regions. If you will better prepare, if you will know about the tactics, about the strategy of your competitors, of the players who are on the market, if you will know how the people react, that will be much easier to you to develop, to start offering your services or product in such market like Germany. Of course, from one perspective, that's very promising market, but from other perspective, that the customer has some specific needs. They need special functionality and of course special services. We recommend you, of course, we still develop these competencies, but we observing to find some business partner, some mentors, some business leader who will represent you on the local market. That's, we know from Polish perspective, instead of this, that we are neighbors, that we recruit, we need the person who will manage locally, and that will be from local society. Search additional national organization from your country which can help you to grow, to connect with local partners in Germany, like NRW, Global Business or Chamber of Commerce. That's for us very useful. We are in daily, we can say, contact with them, and we know how helpful it is based on the registration process to help us on services some technical problems which we have at the beginning. Networking is always worthwhile, and that's the last recommendation to tell you that networking, participating in local events will give you some additional knowledge, information to growing not only in Germany, but when we are concentrating on this market, as a MedUp, we know how important it is. And if you will better prepare to enter to such market, you will achieve much better and much successful results. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for your participation. And if you want, if you have some question, I'm able to answer or give you some contact based on my email. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Christoph. Thank you for sharing your experiences, to giving some advices, and congratulations to the big success in your expansion. And we are very happy that we could help you a little bit with that, with our Startup Germany tour. And there are no more questions in the chat, I think. So if you have a question, you have to hurry. And big thanks to all of our speakers, and big thanks to our participants to be here with us. We will share the slides afterwards, and please join the next webinars. We have really good topics, interesting topics for you if you're interested in the NRW market and in expanding your business in Germany. So thanks to all of you. I wish you, wherever you are, nice morning, nice evening, and goodbye, I think.